I've never been to Taiwan. As far as I know, I've never even met anyone from Taiwan. And until last month, I don't think I'd ever tried to find Taiwan on a map. So why am I talking about Taiwan now? In my last video, we looked inside these 3 oil filters. And I don't want to spoil it for you, what we found inside, in case you haven't seen that video yet. But I mentioned that I found something interesting about where they're being made. And once again, after doing a little digging, I found the situation is not at all what I expected. Inside 2 of these filters, I found evidence of high quality materials and superior attention to detail. And inside 1 of these filters, I found evidence of below average materials and crude workmanship. But what caught me off guard, and what I initially found a little unsettling, is that the crude, below average filter was made right here in the United States. And although the 2 remaining filters were sold by 2 different companies, and 25 years passed between the production of one and the other, they show remarkably consistent quality and attention to detail, and they were both made in Taiwan. Why? For me, this why is really 2 questions. First, why is Harley Davidson outsourcing production of critical components to other countries instead of using all American-made materials? And second, why is it that for the last 25 years, Taiwan has been producing higher quality components than some of those produced here in the States? It turns out there's a part of Harley Davidson's history stretching back almost 120 years, and which forms an essential part of its identity as a company that I had entirely overlooked. The Harley Davidson Motor Company invests heavily in its image as an all-American brand. But Harley Davidson motorcycles have never been made from all-American parts. From the very beginning back in 1903, Harley Davidson had been using Bosch ignition units, and in 1909, Bosch magnetos, all of which were imported from Germany. By 1920, Harley Davidson had dealers in 67 countries and was the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the world. The brand we think of as being as American as apple pie is actually a global, multinational corporation using internationally sourced components, and it's been that way for over 100 years. And with that new perspective, I felt a little bit silly about having been concerned that back in 1996, Harley Davidson was selling an oil filter that they sourced from Taiwan. Now, before we can answer the question about how and why high-quality motorcycle parts are coming out of Taiwan, I'd like to look at a 3-minute video clip that was made in Taiwan a few years ago that I think sheds some light on this subject.
人为什么活着？为了思念，为了活下去，为了活更长，还是为了离开？
去骑摩托车吧！
5个台湾人，平均年龄81岁，1个重听，1个得了癌症。3个有心脏病，每一个都有退化性关节炎。6个月的准备，环岛13天。1139公里，从北到南，从黑夜到白天。 只为了一个简单的理由。人为什么要活着？
It turns out Taiwan is a country where motorcycle ownership is deeply ingrained in the culture. More than 70% of licensed drivers in Taiwan own and ride motorcycles. By comparison, here in the States, fewer than 5% of licensed drivers own and ride motorcycles. I want to show you what the morning commute looks like in Taipei City, the capital city of Taiwan. That's not a parade. That's the normal morning commute. One outcome of having a population where 70% of motorists own and ride motorcycles is that the assembly line workers who put together these filters rode to work on motorcycles. Combine those conditions with an Asian culture that values honor, self-discipline, and excellence, and it's really no surprise that high-quality, affordable motorcycle parts from Taiwan played a key role in reviving Harley Davidson in the 1980s and 90s after AMF nearly ran it into the ground. A recent piece of news came out in the last year that ties this whole story together. Harley Davidson announced that their new electric motorcycle, called the Livewire, would be produced in Taiwan through a partnership with Kymco, the largest motorcycle manufacturer in Taiwan. In the event that electric motorcycles continue to represent a growing segment of market share, it just may turn out that Taiwan does their part to save Harley Davidson again. Now, if you haven't had the chance yet to watch my last video where we look inside these oil filters, you should be able to find it by clicking right here. And if not, then you should be able to find it in my channel landing page by clicking on my name or picture below this video. And as you may have heard it said by the prophets, Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.